Hello and welcome to another book review. I know, I'm in exactly the same place and I am doing two at once because I am just that efficient. And it is early morning and there's a few taking a couple of Instagram shots down there. But other than that, there was a few people, maybe two people down here this morning to take pictures and videos of the sunrise over there. Because it is glorious. It is glorious. But other than that, there's a couple of guys working. But other than that, there is nobody about, which is fantastic for me. Because as my bestie says, I am out here being a twat. I call it being a content creator, but she calls it being a twat. Hello. Little sparrows on the beach. Anyway, I have just finished a romance. I know, right? I don't usually read romance, but I do. And I read this one. I know, bit raunchy, bit, fluffy for my usual taste, but it is a Greek romance and I am in Greece. You just want a little bit of summer romance, don't you? There's little birds flying around over there. Anyway, I found this because I came across one of the author's videos over on TikTok. Now, I haven't had the best experience with books that are recommended on TikTok because most of them turn out to be pish. But this, I knew exactly what it was going in. It's a romance. It's just a bog standard romance. Girl has a shitty boyfriend, goes on holiday with her friends, meets a guy. They don't click at first, and then they do, and happy ever after. It's what you're getting with these books. You know what you're getting with romance books. It's quite cozy to know what's coming. Anyway, I quite like this because there's dual point of view. So we are starting off, we're with Phoebe, and she has just found her boyfriend of 3 years that she lives with. She has just discovered that he's been cheating. She had an inkling that he might have done before, and they live together. And in his sort of bedside drawer, she finds a rather X-rated picture of him screwing another woman. Took a picture, kept it in his bedroom drawer in the house where he lives with his long-term girlfriend. This guy is a huge douche canoe. I mean, everything that you could put in that would be a shitty, manipulative, gaslighting, narcissist bastard. For want of a better word, that is exactly what this guy is. He's a dick, and he's called Rob, and he's a prat. And she has just had enough of him, thank God, and gets up and walks out on him. Leaves him. He doesn't even say sorry. He says, "Oh, I know you'll be back because, you can't get better than me." I mean, really? So she rings her best friends, and then a few weeks later, she is on a plane coming to Greece and coming to Mykonos especially. So that is the party island. I mean, if you're going to go somewhere where to get over your shitty ex-boyfriend, Greece and everything that it offers is one of the best places to go. If it's not food, it's drink, or it's extremely good-looking men, or it's lovely, cute cats. Because who doesn't love cats? And some of the kittens around here are absolutely so sweet and so lovely. Anyway, she ends up in Greece, and they're all on this girls' holiday. She has one rule and one rule only in place: no men allowed. No men. She's not falling for any. She's not flirting with anybody. She doesn't want to know. She doesn't want them near her, and everything else. I think that guy's wondering what I'm doing. I've got my books on the table. I've got a notebook propped open. I've got my tripod-y thingy selfie stick that's a crap tripod, I might add. Anyway, I'm getting off Anyway, she goes on this holiday, looks the bomb. They're all about 23. And of course, they go to Mykonos, the party island, just to, party their worries away. Why not have a summer of just forgetting everything and trying everything too? I love being here when there's nobody about. I'm such an introvert. Her friends, one of them is more sort of the quiet one, and her other friend Bailey is more the outgoing. And she, in fact, no, it's Phoebe. Phoebe gets approached at the hotel bar by a guy who wants to buy her a drink, and she says, "No, we're having no men allowed. I don't want to know. I also have my 3 friends, and unless you're going to buy a drink for them as well, there's no point." So he buys a drink for all of them, and they wander over, and they get chatting, and he starts flirting with Bailey, and she has, well, before this, she has this sort of, I wouldn't call it really a meet cute. She walks into him, and he's not even just a bit of a dick. He is a rude, obnoxious prick. And that is Henry. He is our love interest. And this guy, Andy, that wanted to buy her a drink, he is talking to Bailey. Really hits it off with Bailey. And he says, "Oh, I'll bring my 2 friends over." And he does. And I think one of them is called Jace, and he quite likes Rhea, which is the quiet one. And of course, the third one is the oh so brooding, handsome, muscular, sculpted Henry. I mean, all of these 3 guys look like they've just been walked out of a gym, their muscles glistening and all that stuff. And of course, because Bailey and Andy have sort of not coupled up, but they're sort of flirting, enjoying some really good banter. Rhea and Jace are sort of doing a bit of back and forth as well. Phoebe gets left with Henry quite a lot. Now, at first, they don't like each other. And you do get Henry's point of view as to why, because he has sworn off women for this trip to make it up to Andy for a reason I'm not going to go into because that would be a spoiler. So they try and dislike each other, they try and stay away from each other, but of course, the more time they spend together, the more they like each other, the more they get on, there's good banter there. There is chemistry, and it's one of those sort of, it's a few couple of days, so I wouldn't really call it a slow burn, but it's in the context with the other 2, it's a slow burn. And it's just what she doesn't want, but she can't help but be drawn to this Adonis. I mean, with the way he's described in the book, how could you not be drawn to somebody like that? But yeah, they do have chemistry. Of course, he's all brooding and dark and mysterious with this backstory that she doesn't know about. And of course, she to him is this delicate little, not really delicate, but she's little, she's quite short and petite. That's the word I'm looking for. She's quite petite. He figures out early on that, she's been done wrong by a guy, and he doesn't understand how she could be done wrong when she is as hot and beautiful as she is. Which, of course, yeah. And her ex does pop back up a couple of times, especially near the end of the book. I've got sand all on my flip-flops, so I knew what I was getting with this book. I don't usually read romance books. I'm usually more of a horror or like mythology kind of girl. Romance is not my cup of tea, but I really, really did enjoy this one. I gave this one 4 stars. Not 5, because for a book to get 5 stars, it really has to make me feel something. This didn't make me really feel anything. I enjoyed reading it. I enjoyed my time with it. It just didn't make me feel anything apart from cozy. This is set in Greece. It's a Greek summer romance, and I am in Greece, and I read this while sitting on a sunbed, drinking cocktails, and just generally just being lazy. That's what I was doing. But yeah, you can get 2 different covers for this. So you can get one where it's sort of blue and pink, and I'll put that up there somewhere. But if I'm going to read a romance, I might as well have something good to look at while I'm reading it, right? But yeah, I really enjoyed my time with it. They try to stay away from each other. They can't. It's a happy ever after. It's a happy ending. As with most romances, that's the kind of the point. You have to have a happy ending for it to be a romance. Otherwise, it's just a tragedy. What was the last romance book you read? I don't think this review has been very coherent because I've been getting distracted. What else have I put in my notes? Mostly what I've said. As with the romance, you get a lot. I was rolling my eyes at some of the cheesy, cringy dialogue that comes out that I can never imagine anybody saying to anybody else. That I just can't imagine people say to each other, but I'm sure they do. I'm just bitter and twisted and loveless. Yeah, I really can't imagine anybody saying that, putting the hair behind their ear and saying, "Where have you been all my life?" all that kind of thing. I find it a bit. It's so cheesy. There's dialogue in there. It's so cheesy, but it's a romance, so you kind of expect it to be a bit, cheesy. But yeah, I did enjoy my time with it. Will I read it again? I might do. Yeah. It's one of those cozy romance books that you can just pick up, and it's quite an easy read. That sun is burning me now. I am surprised that there is hardly anybody about. But yeah, there is starting to be a few joggers about, a few people wandering. It is like 7:30 now. I think I got up at 6, but it was still dark. Anyway, that was my review of Summer of Our True Colours by Vicki James. I did like it. It's a 4-star read. I enjoyed my time with it. And it will be staying on my shelf. I'm glad I brought it. I'm glad I saved it until I came here, because I found this book, I think, back in either May or June. And I knew I wanted to save it for my holiday here in September. I knew I wanted to save it because it is a perfect read to come back with. So, until next time, keep reading. And I am off for coffee.
Castles glimmer on the hill, echoes of a life fulfilled. With the dawn, new hope is born. In this heart no longer torn. Sip the wine, embrace the night. Dark stars journey shining bright. Through the trials, through the pain, love and light shall still remain.